Hello, everyone. Greetings, brave warriors, and welcome to World Cup podcast Imperia Online. I am Mitko,
And I'm Vicky.
and today is day 13 of the World Cup qualifiers.
Yes, Mitko. Today we'll look back at what happened in the last week since uh, Monday. So, as we call it, the qualifiers from Monday to Monday. Mitko will call on his crystal ball once again so he can analyze and predict what will happen in the qualifiers in the upcoming week. And together we'll try to answer some of your questions that you have asked us in the last few days and in the previous stream. I will continue looking at our chat here live in our stream on YouTube. And also today's attack is the first one to have heavy troops marching towards our Imperial Defenders provinces and holdings, and we'll sure talk about that as well. Also, and let's say pretty big thing, people, today we'll have a guest in our show. I will keep it secret for now so that we can surprise you, but I will only say that we're going to talk to him about some pretty important stuff. So stay tuned and watch, and just keep in mind that it's going to be very interesting. Now it's time to have a look at some numbers, the statistics from the last 7 days.
Yes,
The scary statistics. I'm going to go through them pretty quickly so that we are not going to bore you. But after that, we will move on with some new things. As you probably know, during the weekend we didn't have live streams as usual, so we've got, I think, 3 waves that we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
So, last Monday it was wave number 5, and it was a pillage led by Darina. It consisted of 3,000 light spearmen, 400 light cavalry, and our Imperial Defenders did kind of well. More than 4,600 wins compared to more than 18,000 wins for the Nomad army, and more than 60 million villagers were pillaged. Tuesday, the next day, was a fortress siege led by Blues. It was wave number 6, and it had he led kind of a big army, more than, well, depending on your coefficient, it was about 500 light spearmen, 1,000 light archers, 1,000 light swordsmen, 10 battering rams, and this brought to the Nomads about 18,000 again wins, and to our Imperial Defenders about 5,000 wins. On Wednesday, wave number 7 hit. It was a pillage, and it was a very heavy one, very, very tough one, and almost fatal for a lot of our players. It was a pillage led by Flintstone, who brought along about 2,000 light spearmen, 250 light cavalry, more than 2,600 it was 2,000 light spearmen, 250 light cavalry, and this brought to Flintstone more than 20,000 wins. And our Imperial Defenders succeeded in only 2,600 of those cases.
The saddest day.
Yeah, it was the biggest destruction so far, and but about 91 million villagers were pillaged. A sad
True.
day that deserved minutes
genocide.
of silence. Yeah. So then Thursday came with wave number 8.
And it was a brighter day.
A bit brighter, yeah. It was a fortress siege, a breath of fresh air, I guess, but still not that well compared to previous fortress sieges. It was led by Krum, and he brought along about 1,500 light archers, 1,500 light swordsmen, 15 battering rams, and this brought to him more than 18,600 wins, while our Imperial Defenders succeeded in 4,143 of their holdings. So it was a bit better compared to, of course, the fatal pillage from the day before, but still, compared to other fortress sieges, was not that good. Friday, this wave 9 is the last wave we talked about here before we went uh, into a weekend vacation. So yeah, wave 9 hit. It was a pillage led by Otton with about 2,000 light spearmen, 250 light archers, 500 light cavalry, and this brought to him again more than 18,700 wins, while our Imperial defenders got a little more than 4,100 wins, and this brought death to more than 83.5 million villagers. 83.5 million villagers were pillaged by Otton.
Another genocide.
Yeah, yet another genocide. And the same day, the night of Friday night, it was wave number 10. It was a fortress siege led by Commoner. He brought along about 1,500 light spearmen, 250 light archers, 1,500 light swordsmen, and 20 battering rams, which brought to him almost 21,000 wins. At the same time, the Imperial wins are a bit over 8,100. So it went kind of well compared to other fortress sieges lately, but still huge numbers for the nomad armies.
Yes, and the 8,000. This is probably worth mentioning that these 8,000 are actually 4,000 players who are attacked in two provinces.
Yeah, Commoner was the first attack that hit in two provinces at once. And then Saturday came. Some of us were not here to report, but players were there to defend. It was a fortress siege led by Jovana, the nomad general, and she brought along 1,000 light archers, 4,000 light swordsmen, 750 light cavalry, and 50 battering rams, which brought to her about 22,500 wins, while the Imperial Defenders' wins were 6,560. So this was Saturday, and then we had yesterday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So yesterday, okay, there is a huge number when talking about villagers pillaged.
Yeah, another funny figure.
Yeah, I just want to prepare you in a way because it sounds very dramatic, but hopefully it doesn't mean that much.
It actually is better compared talking about defense and lost civilians, because we have again attacked pillage in two provinces. Yeah, it's a brutal one, but if you compare it with the first brutal pillage, the Flintstones one, it's a lot better.
Of course. So yesterday, the pillage, as you already heard, it was a pillage, and it was led by Saho, and he brought along 5,000 light spearmen, 500 light archers, and some light cavalry along, which brought to him more than 23,000 wins, while the Imperial Defenders' wins were almost 6,100. Sounds kind of better than some other pillages, but the number of pillaged villagers is over 154 million.
Yeah.
Which is almost 2 times the amount we usually see in
unimaginable.
Yeah. So this is how the waves went in the last 7 days. The next wave is going to hit in less than an hour, I think. So we are going to talk about it in a bit, and even the one after that, because if you're watching us, you actually might miss parts of the action in the game, but keep watching. And I just want to mention something else. We've got a very interesting statistic starting from today. We've got statistics of undefeated players, number of undefeated Imperial defenders. So this statistic shows how many people from certain countries have succeeded in defending their holdings from each nomad wave so far. So the interesting thing is that over 1,000 players have succeeded in winning against each wave so far.
So far.
So far. It changes,
so far.
I guess, every day.
Yeah.
So
they will diminish every day.
Yep. The first spot is for dramatic drumming for Serbia.
Oh,
with
nice.
101 players that have succeeded in keeping their holdings each time a nomad wave hits.
Who else would you think it will be?
Well, you know Brazil and Russia are strong.
Yeah, but I know that the Serbians are the best warriors from the last World Cup.
They are very determined.
Yeah.
The second place goes to Brazil with 10 people less, which is a lot.
A drama.
Yeah, 91 people, 91 players from Brazil succeeded in keeping their holdings from the nomad armies. While the third place goes to Bulgaria with just 2 players less.
The 2 times champions.
Yes. And we've got 88 people from Romania that stand undefeated. And then it drops very, very, very strongly.
So that we have 4 or 5 teams that are
kind of at the very top.
That have good stats.
Yeah, okay. And then we've got Italy in the 5th spot with 61 undefeated players. And this is the top 5. Then they get a little lower. So this is an interesting statistic that we are going to try to show each time from now on. And hopefully it doesn't get, the numbers don't, hopefully they don't drop a lot from now on, because it's very exciting to know that so many people, because I think that's a lot of people, to see that so many people have withstood so many heavy and hard to defeat
it's
attacks.
A great achievement.
Yep.
To remain undefeated during the qualifiers.
Exactly.
It has always been. We will talk about it later.
Yes, and maybe some of you remember that last time we started talking about yet another type of statistics.
Yeah.
And this is the statistic, the statistics that show ratios between win victory ratios and so on. They are the ratios between number of players and number of wins. So when talking about big teams, big nations, with more than 500 players in the qualifiers, in the leading spot we still have Russia with 27.6% wins.
They dropped a little bit.
Yes, they have dropped a lot. Last week Russia had a very, very huge...
More than 30%.
They had 34%. 34% success ratio. And now they have dropped to 27.6%. And the Bulgarians are giving them some hard times, because the Bulgarians who are in the second spot have 27.2% win ratio, which is
the Bulgarians are getting together.
Yep, the Bulgarians seem to be getting together, while the Croatians.
Who is surprised? After all, we're talking about the 2 times world champion.
Yes, of course, but let's not forget, people are going to get a bit scared when you talk like that, because last time we had a question from a viewer.
Yeah.
Like, he was scared that we might artificially boost our team.
Yeah.
We are not doing this.
Yeah. So, the Bulgarians are just that good.
So the third spot in the big teams goes to Croatia with 26.8%, which is again very close. We really don't have any differences of the sort that we had last time. So
let me just interrupt you
yeah.
here. Sorry. Do you think we should take some measures about the Bulgarians? Well, create some kind of conspiracy so they don't have that kind of high success ratio?
Well, you mean us here in Imperia Online, or the players?
No, you're right. Me and you, we cannot do anything. People will in this company, they don't listen to us. So guys, don't worry.
I actually think that between the players, among the players, the Russians kind of maybe they felt a bit comfortable and they loosened up a bit.
Overconfident.
Yeah. And
it's a downfall of many people.
Something interesting I'm gonna mention in just about a minute or two. So the third spot goes to Croatia with 26.8%, which is again very close to the second, which is the Bulgarians. I'm going to just mention the top 5. The fourth spot is for Spain with 26.6. Again, yeah, exactly. Again, very, very close. And the fifth spot is for Romania with yet another 26.5 kind of 6. So it's so competitive right now. They're also close to each other. By the way, the numbers keep going the same way up until number. What is that?
So
number
the differences
10.
are very negligible.
Yes, very negligible. It's getting very interesting. So those are the big teams.
And they fight.
They fight a lot. But when talking about smaller nations, in terms of presence in the qualifiers, we've got a different champion. So, I mean, of course, temporary champion in our statistics, in our rankings. When talking about countries with more than 100 players in the qualifiers, the first spot is for Greece. They appear out of nowhere.
Yeah.
As evident.
Well, not exactly.
Nowhere, but yeah.
The Greece. Let's not forget that the Greece guys are in the top 10 of the countries from the last World Cup.
They are always there, but the first spot, when talking about win ratios, they've got 28.2% compared to Russia, which here in this case takes the second spot with 27.6, which is very interesting. This means that the Greece might not be that huge as in terms of numbers of players in the qualifiers, but they are very strong and they know what they are doing. So then we have Bulgaria, Croatia, Spain, Romania, Poland, Italy, England and Serbia at the 10th spot. And the numbers here are again very tight next to each other. And it's getting very interesting. The huge gap between Russia and the other countries is now gone. It has melted.
Yeah.
So it's getting more and more interesting every day. And I think this is pretty much, I think that's enough numbers for now. I'm going to leave you talk a bit about what you think they show and what they mean. But what I can definitely say, looking at the numbers, is that they are very interesting and it's getting very hot in the qualifiers already.
And what can I definitely say is that it's strictly Russia's fault that the other teams caught up with them. I mean, how can you lose 7% of winning success ratio in during a weekend? Something happened. Did some kind of earthquake probably in Russia, or some other natural disaster occurred during the weekend? We will never know. Okay, so Vicky, we saw all kinds of surprises in the past week,
Yeah.
we've seen, for example, people letting go pillages tactically.
Yes.
This happened on Wednesday when Flintstone hit the Nomad defenders. It was the classical, I think. Uh, it was the classical, don't get me wrong, but you will not hurt me with your pillage, and I can sacrifice some civilians for the greater good answer. Although this result looked pretty grim, as
Yeah,
we
it did.
already mentioned it back then. Let's mark it as an event on our favorite
Bored.
board. October 15th, 2600 Imperials had a smiling faces. Only 2600 Imperials. It was a sad day
Yes.
for all of them, but not for these 2600 Imperials. I was really worried back then about the players' defensive capabilities, as we saw more than 90 million civilians. I think this figure is the biggest civilians lost in a single wave against a single province so
Yes.
far. Let's mark it as well as the current Nomad record. Well, and even I thought that our evil system has made a fatal error and had decided to really beat up all the players so it can teach them a lesson or something. But then the next attacks came and things looked a lot better with the results, and I realized that it was a tactical move by most of the players to let this pillage go. Although I am never a fan of this move, by the way, for two reasons. First of all, letting go a nomad army and depriving yourself from a war income, this is a decision I personally would never make. No matter if the enemy I am facing is boosted or not. According to my observations so far, if your defense is built adequately, not good or not excellent, but adequately, the war income will usually more than compensate your lost army during the defense battle. The second reason is something that we haven't talked about a lot lately, but I think this is important: military points.
Yes.
Although,
indeed,
although we don't have official military points rankings, nor we give awards for military achievements in the World Cup tournament, having military points is always something that demands respect, both from your friends and foes. Things look pretty different when the people you are playing with know that you are a good warrior, that you are an awesome nomad army skiller, etc. Imperia Online is a war game after all, and the World Cup group stage is at our doorstep already. Do you want to be remembered as the guy who let the pillages go, or as the guy who exterminate that nomad vermin on a regular basis and remained undefeated?
yes, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but this is actually something that I wanted to mention. Now that we have a look at those statistics as well, the undefeated players, I think despite the fact that we are not giving them any prizes for being undefeated, this is a huge honor.
They're
And
awesome.
by letting the pillagers pillage your village,
Yeah.
this is some great
Pillage
rhymes right
the
here.
village, yeah.
Yeah, don't let the nomads pillage your village because it's getting
it's
you out
bad
of
for business.
it's getting you out of our
Yeah.
ranking of
And it's bad for your profile.
undefeated
And,
players. Yeah.
So being undefeated during the entire World Cup qualifiers is always a great achievement. It is equal, for example, to being Luke Skywalker and blow up the Death Star. It's that huge. And you just cannot let this kind of achievement go. Other interesting thing we saw in the past week was the appearance of the heavy units in some of the empires. Congratulations and respect to all the players who have managed to upgrade their army. I know it's not very easy with just 4 provinces. The appearance of the heavy troops immediately eases the defense against the nomad waves, obviously, and significantly lowers the players' losses in network points. It is a major milestone in the economic development, considering the steep resource requirements for this upgrade. Yes, it is steep indeed, because the resources income in version 6 is quite less compared to version 5, actually. This is why we talked about how important it is for the players to have a good start in their economic development. If you add the rule that you only have, as I mentioned, 4 provinces to annex and improve, you see that you need to squeeze out every bit of resources you can in order to have an adequate military capabilities, because the nomads will only get stronger and better, if I may. Let's write it down.
Better. Not in the sense of worse, but in the sense of more badass. Mean.
The worst things you can possibly imagine.
Okay.
Evil, fiendish, no good scoundrels, for example.
Okay.
So, and I kept the most important information for the end of my extensive commentary. We have witnessed the first nomad wave containing heavy troops. Now, what can we say about these heavy troops? The details we will discuss later, as it is the wave that will hit shortly after our podcast ends.
Or actually, I'm not sure. It may even hit before the podcast ends.
Really?
Yeah.
Why am I the last guy who understands these things?
I think it will hit at about 4 p.m. server time, which is in half an hour from now.
Thank you,
or
Vicky.
Something. So yeah, it might actually hit before we have finished.
Now we can talk about why we see heavy troops so late in the qualifiers, after half of them have already passed. The answer is simple, and we already mentioned something about the matter: the harder version 6 economy. Our evil system, which generates the nomad attacks, sometimes is not that evil at all. I can say it for sure because I know it. And it has its reasons. I will elaborate. First of all, the nomad waves are not generated by some kind of fixed formula. It would be really cruel of us to do it this way, as we think the players will not be able to develop their empires in time to be adequate to this formula. Actually, it's a different approach. We have this all good and all wise counselor, if I may, who is monitoring the players' development during the qualifiers. I will show you his pictures. Sometimes he's actually a very handsome fella. Uh, and he's monitoring the players' development all day, every day. Uh, he's the one who controls actually this evil system and tell us what kind of armies it has to generate so they can be both challenging and with increasing power. The process itself is quite a challenge because if, let's say, the counselor makes a mistake, the system will either send too weak nomad wave, which all the players will laugh at, or it will be too hard and will wipe them all out. In both cases, the desired result is not will not be achieved. So, as you can see, Vicky, we haven't left anything to the machines yet. We still have people to think the important things through. But soon we will leave anything to the machines, and then it will be our doom. Dun dun dun!
Yes, I was waiting for this. Well, now it's getting very dramatic here.
Yeah.
I
And
am
it will
going.
get even more dramatic.
I am going to
Yeah.
turn the attention to our viewers
Yeah.
because, as I said, we're going to answer some questions. And I'm going to start with a question from our last stream, actually.
Yeah.
There was a viewer who asked us why we are showing numbers, meaning the nomad units in their armies.
Yeah.
We are showing concrete numbers when those numbers are different for pretty much each player.
Yeah.
So are you going to do me the courtesy of explaining how those numbers are formed?
I shall certainly do,
Okay.
Vicky. Why the nomads have different
Amounts
numbers,
of
amounts of troops
yeah.
when they attack? Well, it's all written in the rules of the qualifiers. Actually, it's pretty simple. Let me show you the rules. They are posted in the World Cup site. As you can see, one paragraph in particular. After third attack, the attacking army's strength will depend on the player's current ranking as follows. The first 99 players will be attacked by stronger armies, first place by armies 2 times stronger than the default, second place, third place, etc. It's quite simple. If you have if you are ranked, the higher place you are ranked at, the stronger armies, nomads armies, will come to attack you. This is a rule that is made to balance the qualifiers. We cannot just let you be first and smash everything. The armies which are the incoming armies could be quite simple for you to defeat, so you will not have fun.
Yeah, it's a sort of a smart system.
Yeah, it's a very smart and evil system that is created only to make your life miserable. I'm joking, of course. The really good players consider these attacks, all of them, quite easy.
Well, so I'm just going to use the next question that I saw in our chat here on YouTube as some kind of an transition to what's coming. So one of our viewers asked what the group phase is going to be all about, how it is going to be formed, and what it's going to contain. So this is the time where I actually am going to move on for now. If you have any more questions, don't forget to ask them, because even if we are not going to answer them right now, next time, as you already saw, I keep track of the questions. Next time, tomorrow actually, we are going to have a look at them. So about the group phase.
Yeah.
We actually, as I already mentioned, have a guest today in our
Yes.
studio. So the guest, the thing that was a surprise is that our guest is Ivan Atanasov, one of Imperia Online's game designers, and he's currently working on a huge project of which I will not speak, as it is deeply classified, and I can get killed if I expose it. By the way, Mitko wants to kill me for almost anything. So in the meantime, before this project gets publicly opened, Ivan is here to talk to us about the World Cup, the qualifiers, the group phase, and
the wine,
Imperia
the love,
Online.
and the Imperia Online.
Yeah,
as a whole.
Yeah, it's time for him to join us.
Yeah, okay, by all means, have him come here, Vicky. Let me just tell you some kind of background while Ivan is preparing to come and talk to me. He's one of the guys who actually invented the group stage, which is the new thing in the World Cup. He's one of the guys who knows this system at best, and he's one of the guys that we will actually kill if this system fails. So without any further ado, hello Ivan, nice to have you here.
Yeah,
nice that you could join us. I know how busy is your schedule. How is the new deeply classified project going, by the way?
Becomes more and more classified and more deep and,
and
deeper and deeper and more and more classified and everything is if I tell you I should we already know I should kill you. So
okay, so please don't.
I'll be silent for now.
Okay, let's talk about the other stuff, something that concerns us. First of all, let me ask you something. The Nomad waves are attacking every 22 hours compared to the 26.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You didn't know.
No, I'm joking, of course. We told them to attack
You're going to give me a heart attack. I thought you prepared for this interview. Have you?
No, nobody told me about this interview. They just asked me, can you come from your desk? And I say, I have a lot of work, but they said, no, you need to come. And I'm here. Now, we're together to speak before my boss find out that I'm not on my desk working.
Oh, okay. So we should be quick then. Okay, 22 hours compared to 26 hours in the last World Cup. Are the Nomad armies on some kind of steroids or something? Why the rush?
Yeah, they're dirty, aggressive. I will not say bastards, but they are. So the point is that we want attacks to happen around 24 hours, but we cannot fix them on 24 hours because it means they will happen in the same time every day, and it will be kind of not fair for everyone because our players are all around the world. Mm-hmm. So the previous World Cup they were in 26 hours, just because we want this shift of 2 hours to happen every day, but now we want everything to happen faster, and I believe our players also want to go on with the next phase of the struggle. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to make the things a bit more faster, and we think 22 hours is quite enough to prepare for the attacks. They are balanced this way, so I believe it's for good of all. And
you believe this is good of all? Can you see this figure here? 2,600 people living.
Yes, and everyone else is
pillaged. 90 million people. That
Well,
these are
we
people with
should,
families,
we
by the
will
way.
send postcards for their families, and I agree. We will talk with the Red Cross to send help and other things. But yes, sometimes even we can make a mistake. Not, not very often. We're kind of
It was a
yeah,
fun wave, by the way.
yeah. Uh,
Okay, so the reasons are we want more speed in smashing and crushing
yes.
Imperial defenders.
This ensures that this phase is shorter than
Yeah,
the previous year, and also it leaves us more time for the next two phases, because uh, the second phase actually will be bigger this way
yeah.
and last longer, and this will give more time to have two great competitive phases after this one, which is more or less more single player oriented, and it's like teaching. I don't expect there will be too many new players in the World Cup, but yeah, it helps people to tune their strategies and tactics against different kind of armies.
Okay, so I want to ask you something that we haven't talked about at all in these qualifiers, but I think it is very important. Fixed market prices. We have fixed market prices on the qualifiers. This is a mechanic which is already in history in Imperia Online, and yet we keep using it in the World Cup qualifiers. Why are the fixed market prices the better options in IO's most elite tournament qualifiers?
Well, it's a tribute to our communist past. You know, where all the prices were fixed.
Everyone should be equal. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good thinking.
We
by
believe
the way.
in socialism and communism, so everyone should be equal. No, the reason.
I honestly didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I admit. Yeah.
Well, you're younger, you don't remember this time.
No, actually, I'm not, but I would never make that kind of connection.
Yeah.
So it's the communism. It's
yeah.
always the communism.
Communism for the
I'm
best.
sure it.
Marx and Engels will be our next attack leaders for the barbarians. Yeah. Actually, the reason is very simple. We want this phase to be focused on the military part. So we want our players to be focused on the military. And as I already mentioned, it's quite more like single player oriented phase of the three. It's the most single oriented. So we don't want players to bother too much with the market and different economy strategies that can disrupt other players' game plans. We want them to be equal and also focused on the fight. So that's why we opted in this stage to fix the market. Don't worry, it will not be fixed in the next stages where they will compete each other.
Yeah, on speed 10, where they will feel much better having a free market.
Yeah, I believe there everything will be more to good old capitalism and dog eat dog principle. So they will be able to to evaluate how good it was to be fixed. And
how
they will
better
ask
the communism is compared to capitalism.
Yes, venceremos.
Okay, well, another one, as the qualifiers have already passed their midterm, so to speak, the players have or midterm, just like in school. You pass your midterms and you're happy. You don't pass them, you have some
600 of them are happy.
The players have already started to ask questions, very valid ones, about one of the core changes in this tournament that you are familiar with, the group phase. How will the groups actually be arranged and why?
Well, we will arrange them in a similar way as football competitions do.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best way, but football shows it works at least. We still have people that can change this.
Yeah.
But the core idea is not to put all the favorites in one group so they can eliminate each other in the very beginning and make the finals not interesting. So
Yeah.
we spread the. First, we rank everyone based on their results during the last two World Cups.
No,
Last two.
let's show this table while you are. It's a very interesting one while you are explaining.
Yes, we
stuff.
probably have it somewhere. And we put the first 9 as leader of those groups, 9 groups, because we use 9 groups. We separate the map on 9 sectors. And then we put all the others following the same logic. So we put the first one in the first group, second in the second, and so on. The 10th one goes to the first group, 11th goes to the second, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And that's how we fill the groups. So it's not something random, it's not something fixed, it's based on the results.
What was the fancy word you told me about this kind of arrangement before the show?
I don't remember this word. It's a spiral way of
Spiral
randomness.
Spiral randomness,
If we say,
everyone. We have a new word in our vocabulary.
Yes, and we need to explain that it's the ranking is based on their net worth in the World Cup. So it puts, I believe it puts Poland in the first place, and not Bulgaria or Croatia, who are champions now. So this ranking is based, spiral
randomness.
If you want, I can draw a spiral next to it.
Okay.
With numbers.
Yeah. So, according to your spiral randomness, as I can see in one of the groups, we will have Russia fighting with Brazil.
Yeah, it's one example. Yeah, this is our initial spiral.
Yeah.
And
Is it really random, or you did it on purpose?
No, it's
so we can watch a major showdown in Group 2 between Brazil and Russia.
Well,
tell me the truth. Just tell me the truth. I can handle it.
Yeah, the truth is I didn't even take a direct part in this ranking, but it was not made manually. It was made totally on numbers.
By the evil system.
Yes, the evil system, as we know, is very
so,
evil.
Guys, you know it. The evil system has put probably Brazil with Russia in Group 2.
Yeah, they have a whole ocean between them, so it's good to be together here in the group.
Yeah, of course.
Make friends.
Yes.
Around the
break
world,
the ice between the nations.
Ice. Yeah, they have ice, but not in Brazil.
Yeah. Well, Ivan, I want to thank you about your input. It was indeed priceless. Let me just say that I wrote the fancy word, which is new in our vocabulary. It's called spiral randomness. Let's just repeat that the teams will probably be arranged in spiral randomness in the group phase, thanks to this guy. So if anything goes wrong, you can all blame him.
Don't give them my number.
Yeah, thank you very much,
It
Ivan.
was a pleasure to be in your studio,
pleasure.
and
I hope
fans.
we will talk again.
Thank you.
So, my friends, that was Ivan Atanasov and his invaluable input about the the World Cup group stage that is coming. While we are waiting for Vicky to return to her place, I want to show you something that was made for for me from one of my fans in the company. It is very huge, actually. Yes, it is Mitko English. Die for it, and your fan Fanny. It was. Thank you very much, Fanny. One of these days, I will ask you to come here and talk about this priceless gift, which I appreciate.
Mitko, it's a thing now.
Yes, it's officially a thing.
Yes, I think you should get a T-shirt that says Mitko English.
Yeah, and I have another surprise for you guys. Something that is written by Murat Kuskun. Let me just show it to you. Can I get a close-up from my trusted associate behind the camera?
Well,
I think you can, guys, all read it. My Vicky, let me just read it. My Vicky is talking again. New day, new beautiness with her nice voice. I love the day I saw you and heard your voice. Murat Kuskun, ladies and gentlemen. Vicky, I think it's a thing as well. Let me just present this to you so you
Thank
can
you.
have a.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Well, one thing's for sure, we really keep an eye on the comments
Yeah.
in the
Sure
chat
we
here
do.
in YouTube. So I think we're getting a bit sidetracked.
yeah. It's a little bit romantic, but
very,
it's
very romantic.
it's beautiful.
Yes. So let's go back to the serious part
How can we go back after this?
by talking to the terror that is coming right now
Oh,
and
yeah.
tomorrow. Yeah.
All right.
So this means that we are going to give you a little insight on what's coming today in terms of nomad waves and tomorrow.
Let's just check if the wave has hit.
Yeah, it's pretty much a mystery so far for us because we're trying to calculate the times, but it doesn't always happen with such precision. Just I want to mention something.
Yes,
There
by all
is-
means. And
There is one of our colleagues dancing around our studio.
can we get a close up before he runs away,
No,
or?
we can't because he's almost hiding. So let's try to be serious now. So today's wave, which will hit when?
Today's wave still has, according to my calculations,
Yeah.
your calculations are wrong again, Vicky, because the current wave, Robusta's wave, will hit in 2 hours
In
and
2
5
hours
minutes.
from now.
Yes, in
Okay.
2 hours from now. So
So
we have
people
plenty of
have-
time to analyze and talk about
Exactly.
this wave.
yes, and you can just stay calm and watch our stream because you're not gonna miss your wave because of
Yeah, so relax.
staying here. Yeah, relax.
And
but,
you might learn something.
but don't relax too much
Yeah.
because Robusta's wave it's going to hit, as you just heard, 2 hours from now. And it's headed towards 3rd and 4th annexed provinces of your holding.
Yeah.
And it is going to be yet another fortress siege with an army that consists of the base number is
Yes.
1,500 light archers, 4,000 light swordsmen,
Mhm.
huge number, battering rams, 60 of them, and 1,000 heavy spearmen.
Yeah.
So heavy spearmen are already a thing in the nomad armies.
Yes, the heavy
with
thing in
the
the
heavy thing.
nomad armies.
It's getting heavier
It will get
in the
heavier and
battles. Yeah.
heavier. Yeah.
So 1,000 heavy spearmen.
Yes.
It's a huge army
Yeah.
that's coming towards two of the provinces that you have annexed. And just because it's very, very soon, in 2 hours, as we already mentioned, I'm going to give a little information on what's coming tomorrow when wave number 14 hits.
Yeah.
And after that, you're going to talk a bit more about
Yeah.
the numbers.
The current wave.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. The
So
wave
so
that
we
is
can
going
see
to
if we
hit in
can
just
save some of the
yes.
players
Yeah,
who got it all wrong.
and get a bit better numbers tomorrow to present.
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow's wave. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and wave number 14 is going to be led
Sorry.
by Ivanina.
Yeah.
She actually made an appearance in the
Yes.
in the beginning.
This will be her second assault.
Exactly. You haven't killed her as well as you should.
No. No.
So Ivanina is
It's
going
very hard to kill a nomad general.
Yeah, it is pretty
They
tough.
are part of the evil system.
Of course. So Ivanina is going to bring a pillage upon our players' holdings. She will bring an army of 5,000 light spearmen, 2,500 light cavalry, 1,500 heavy spearmen. It's getting bigger, the number of heavy spearmen. And do not forget that actually those numbers are base numbers. They are going to grow depending on your coefficient, depending on your place in the rankings. So don't take them as just clear numbers. And it is going to hit around 2 p.m. server time tomorrow, which I'm not actually very sure now if it's going to be 2 p.m. So 22 hours from the upcoming wave. This means it's going to hit probably at around 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Around
Yeah.
4 p.m. server time tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so yeah, please Mitko, give us your insight on how people can manage against who Robusta is coming today. So yeah, just give us your insight, your tips and tricks, let's say, against Robusta and how they can survive
Yeah.
if they can today.
Yes. It's time for my crystal ball.
Yes.
Today is indeed a big day in the qualifiers, Vicky, as we have the first nomad heavy troops, as we mentioned, marching against the Imperial troops. We also have the first nomad wave to actually assault the third and the fourth annexed provinces both at the same time. It's quite a modest the figure of the 1,000 heavy spearmen. Let's just show them how they look with coefficient. I have one of my deeply undisclosed and secret accounts classified in the World Cup, and you can see on this account how the armies are actually getting. This one is about 50% stronger than the base. Did we show the feed from the accounts?
Yes, I think so.
Did we show the feed from the accounts? Yes, thank you, people.
Yay.
Okay, we now have the feed on which you can see how the army is boosted with 50% coefficient. So it's a modest figure, the 1,000 heavy spearmen base army, but hey, it's heavy troops after all.
Of course.
This is an attack that I will call heavy troops all the way, baby. Basically,
now say it with a feeling.
Heavy troops all the way, baby.
Yeah.
Basically, if you have heavy troops, you don't even need to fill your fortress level 6 garrison to the top. You can make do with just half of it. Around 1,500 heavy archers will be all you need in order to defend this attack successfully, even if it's on full power and on full coefficient. Of course, if you want to get the maximum amount of war income, by all means, max out your fortress garrison with heavy archers. The more, the merrier.
Of course.
If you if you don't have heavy troops, though, things will get rough. Even against a base nomad army, you will need a full garrison of archers, your fortress technologies upgraded to at least level 10, and I mean all of them, moat, curtain wall, and fortification. And your fortress level 6 garrison needs to be at least 3,400 to even hope that you can overcome the vast nomad wave.
Wait, I want to do something.
Yes?
Something that you usually do. Now
Yeah.
I want to get the chance to do it. Give me the numbers.
All right.
How? Okay.
Oh, that's a... What the hell is this?
This is great. Okay, so we have how many?
Is it a lipstick?
No. It's something to write with.
All
Yes.
right. So
How many?
you need 1,500 heavy archers in order to successfully defend against this nomad wave.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, at that moment you can see that Vicky is writing with something closely resembling to a lipstick.
Move on.
Okay. So uh, if you want to do it with light units, you will need at least 3,400 light archers as a garrison. Sorry.
Okay.
That's all, Vicky.
Okay.
I don't want to engage you much longer in
What?
this process.
Okay. What should I draw here?
I love
A
Mitko,
sword.
for example.
A sword.
Okay, draw a sword, please. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Vicky is drawing a sword with something that closely resembles a lipstick.
Ah, ouch. So
What is this supposed to be? A sword,
sword,
Vicky.
yeah. Well,
Vicky, please take your place again.
thank you, Mitko.
And next time,
you.
please take your pills.
No,
thank you.
no. My pills will stay at home.
Okay. So, since we have all the necessary information we need for this wave, I will only say that if I have to quote my crystal ball for the future, Vicky,
Yes.
we are now entering the phase in which the nomad. Sorry, it really looks like a lipstick. Okay, I will shut up now. If I have to quote my crystal ball, we are now entering the phase in which the nomad units will start dominating the nomad armies layouts, and there will be no nomad attacks in a single province from now on. Soon the catapults will replace the siege machines, and the Imperials will need to start thinking about those level 7 fortresses.
Yeah.
And will we see elite units soon? I doubt it. But I am anxious to be proved otherwise. I dare you, brave warriors.
So, this is what the upcoming waves look like, and what they are going to consist of.
And I just want to say that these kind of noises are completely normal for our live show.
Yes, of course. I'm not sure if they heard them, so
Yeah, but we did.
It was a phone ringing. Spoiler alert. I
Yeah.
really cannot say that. It's
Yeah.
okay. So this is all for today.
Yeah.
It was a very long summarizing
Yeah, but it
live
was
stream.
fun,
It was fun.
nevertheless.
I showed my skills in drawing swords. So I think that's pretty much enough for today. You've got enough of us, I guess.
I personally had enough of you. Yeah,
He had
for real.
enough of me. So tomorrow we are going to see how Robusta's wave
Yeah.
went and what's coming with with the next one, which is going to be Ivanina tomorrow again.
Yeah.
And that's all for now.
That's all for now, brave warriors. Take care of everything in your empires. Please fight all the waves, stay safe, and be brave. Bye bye.